Hi guys, so today we're still talking about topic 16, lesson 1 and 2. I'm not going to teach you anything new, but I am going to explain the next activity that I want you to do, the one that's called Geometry is Everywhere. So this is going to be a really short video because all I'm going to do is show you what to do for your assignment. Okay, so you should have already done your Flipgrid scavenger hunt, which I assigned for yesterday, for today technically, because today's Tuesday. So I should have assigned it for Tuesday. Maybe some of you did it on Monday. I know Angelo did it on Monday. So this assignment is very similar to that, except you're going to draw anything that you can think of, and you are going to have sentences along with it. Okay, so the first thing I did is I counted how many words I have. So I have plane, I have point, I have line, I have ray, I have line segment, I have parallel lines, intersecting lines, perpendicular lines, right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle, and straight angle. That's 12 words. So what I did is I got a piece of paper, okay, and I folded it hot dog style. No, I didn't. I lied. Okay, so first what I did is I folded it like this, okay, and then I folded it like this. Kind of like a pamphlet, like if you go to doctors or somewhere and they give you like a little informational pamphlet. Okay, so 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I took this and I folded it in half. Okay, so when I open it up, I have 6 on one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so then after that, I got started. So I had you go around your house and do a scavenger hunt of things that you can find in your house, but now I'm asking you guys to think outside of your house, okay? Anything that you have seen in your lifetime, what can you think of when you think of these words, okay? So some of the things that you think of might be pretty basic that we all see every day. Some of the things that you guys think of might not be something so common. Okay, so I have one that I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind, but you'll see. Okay, so I'll start here. Alright, so here's the top. Okay, so I gave it the title, Geometry, it's everywhere. Okay, so this was my first drawing. So the first thing I did was I drew a lake because I thought of a plane. So here's my sentence. The lake is the plane. And you see how I highlighted the word plane because that's our vocab word. So you're going to highlight the word and then you're going to point to what you are talking about. But then after I did that, I realized, hey, I can do point in the same picture as well. So I drew a little boat. And then here's my sentence. The boat is a point. And I highlighted point. Okay, if you don't have a highlighter, you can circle the word, you can underline the word, or if you have orange, light orange, yellow, or light pink crayon or marker or something, you can color over it. Okay, so I did this with the yellow crayon. And then I pointed to the boat. Okay. Then I had a really hard time thinking about a line because remember, a line is technically a straight path and it doesn't end. So I was trying to think, okay, what's a straight path that doesn't end? So then I thought of the lines on a globe, right? Now, I know a globe is round, but if you take that globe, cut it in half, and flatten it out, that line becomes straight. And that line never stops. It just keeps going and going and going. So I thought of the equator. Okay, so the equator is that line that cuts the globe in half. So then here's my sentence. Even though it is an imaginary line, the equator keeps going. So I highlighted the word line, and then I pointed to what I'm talking about. Okay, and there's my picture of my globe. And then here is line segment, okay? So you can't really see it, but right here, the baselines from here to here, they're white. Okay, so any of you who are familiar with a baseball diamond, you'll know that the lines going from home plate to first base and home plate to third base are white chalk. Okay, now those lines, eventually they stop. They start here at home plate and then they stop when they get to where they need to go. So the baselines on a baseball field are line segments. They stop. Okay, so I highlighted line segments and then I pointed to what I was talking about. Okay, now next one. Next one was array. So remember, array is a straight path that ends on one side. It has an end point, and then it keeps going on the other side. Right? So remember, angles are made up of rays too. So I thought of a chair. A chair has a bunch of different angles. See, like here's one angle, here's another angle, here's another angle. So this chair has many rays because all angles are formed with rays. So I went ahead and highlighted rays and I pointed to two of them. So this ray right here meets right here with this ray and they form an angle. So those two are rays. Now here's the one where I don't know why I thought of this first for parallel lines, but hey, it works. So I drew a convict. He's in jail. He has his little jail number right there, his inmate number. And then it says, the jail cell has parallel lines. So I drew the parallel lines. I highlighted parallel lines and then I pointed to what I'm talking about. So parallel lines run straight all the way down. They never get close to each other and they never touch. Okay. Then I have here perpendicular lines. Okay. So tile flooring is filled with perpendicular lines. That's true. Most type of tile floorings, they're just little square tiles that run all the way through your floor, and they all cross to form that perfect square angle. Okay, so I went ahead and highlighted perpendicular lines and I pointed right there to that square angle. Okay, now on the other side, I drew a monkey at the zoo, and then I drew a fence separating the people from the monkey. And I said, the monkey at the zoo is held... Oh, that's what it says. Sorry, I'm reading backwards. The monkey at the zoo is held in by a fence that makes intersecting lines. So I highlighted intersecting lines and I pointed to the fence. Remember, intersecting lines cross. Okay, they just touch each other at some point. Now, let's do a little review. Our perpendicular lines, remember lines that cross and they form a perfect square or like a perfect plus sign, are perpendicular lines intersecting lines? Yes, they are, because perpendicular lines, even though they form a perfect square corner, they still cross, they touch at some point. And that's the definition of an intersecting line. Okay, intersecting lines, they just touch at some point. Now, if I were to ask, are intersecting lines perpendicular lines? We'd say no. Because perpendicular lines cross at any point. Intersecting lines cross at any point. But perpendicular lines, when they cross, they have to form a perfect square corner. Okay, let's move on. Now I drew a house. Okay. So I killed two birds with one stone. I drew one drawing, and it had two of the words in there. The roof of the house forms acute angles. Remember acute? Ooh, so little and cute. They're smaller. So here's my square angle, perfect L. Acute is smaller. So I highlighted acute angles, and I pointed to that angle right there. It could have been that one or that one, but I chose to go there. And then the windows show right angles. Remember, right angles form that perfect square corner, that L. So I went ahead and pointed to that square corner on the window. Okay. And then we have obtuse angles. The remaining pizza slices make obtuse angles. So here are my remaining pizza slices. Okay. So here's the angle that it makes, right here and right here. So that is bigger than 90 degrees. So the remaining pizza slices form an obtuse angle. And last one. Remember, a straight angle is also very similar to a straight line. So I drew my balcony, okay, because there's the city in the background. So here's my balcony, and that right there forms a straight angle. So my balcony makes a straight angle. And that's it. Okay, so think about anything in the world that you have seen or know of or can think of, and go ahead and do your drawings with your sentence describing what I'm supposed to be looking at. Highlight the word and then point to what you're talking about. So remember, plane, point, line, ray, line segment, intersecting lines, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle, and straight angle. Okay? When you are done with it, have your parents take a picture of it and send it to me on Class Dojo. Okay? Don't forget that part. Okay? And before we stop this video, let's go over, so we don't have anything for plane, point. And then we have line. Remember? Open on this side, open on that side. Let me back up. Then we have a ray. So this side's closed, this side's open. We have a line segment, so both sides stop. Then we have a intersecting lines, so form an X. And then we have parallel lines, they never touch. And then we have perpendicular lines, form a perfect cross. And then we have a right angle, perfect L. We have acute angle, we have obtuse angle, and then we have a straight angle, which is just like a line. And that is all. Alright, so go do your drawings. Bye.